Isn't that cool?
Look what's in there. We should have had you in there, really.
Welcome to Greenwave Electric Vehicles. My name's Jesse and I'm so excited you're here. We're New Hampshire's first dedicated EV and plug-in hybrid dealership. We have a beautiful place here. We've got EVs of all different types. We like to keep a lot of plants around here. One of the things that we do at Greenwave, we cultivate plants, and we also plant 100 trees in your name when you buy from us to extend your impact.
So Jesse, thank you so much for hosting me here at Greenwave. It's a beautiful facility and we've had a look around so far, but could you tell us a little bit about how you got to this point?
So I started my career in serving people with disabilities in residential settings and vocational settings, and I worked in the transportation aspect of that. And I really learned how important transportation is to quality of life in the community, and that became a passion of mine. So I've worked in a variety of sectors, and I made the switch to sell wheelchair accessible vehicles about a dozen years ago, and that was wonderful. Worked for a company that I was able to grow with and supervise across the country organizations that are delivering solutions to people. But a couple of years ago, I became increasingly concerned about climate change, and so I started my master's in business administration and sustainability. And around the same time, I bought my first fully electric vehicle.
Happy days.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the Ford Mustang Mach-E was the coolest thing I had ever owned. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took driving from, a chore that you have to do every day to the best part of my day. Mm-hmm. The combination of those two things made me realize that my master's degree and the buying of the Mach-E made me realize that I had the potential to do something about the biggest existential crisis that our society faces today, which is climate change, and do it in a way that helps people improve their quality of life. So I took the plunge, and with my partner, we incorporated in November of 2022, got the dealer licenses, got all the licenses required to operate. We want to do this right from the ground up, so that took a while. Got our line of credit from our banks to buy all this wonderful inventory around January, and we opened our doors in February, and with a mission to accelerate the decarbonization of our economy and create a more sustainable society through providing electric vehicle solutions to people. So I think an important piece of that is that with that educational mission and with our goal to being accelerating the transition, we're not here to sell cars, right? I'm not going to talk to anybody and try to push them into a car here, because I don't have to. Because when people get the information that they need about vehicle electrification and they get a chance to test drive one of these awesome cars, I know they're going to make the switch sooner.
The vehicle sells itself.
The vehicle sells itself, and the lifestyle sells itself.
Jesse, tell us a little bit more just while we're out here about what you've got on the lot and what the business is doing to kind of get these into the hands of loving owners.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you look around, you see all different types of EVs, but one of the reasons that we've cultivated this type of inventory is so that we can have something at every different price point, right? If you want to make a switch to an electric vehicle, whether it's full EV or plug-in hybrid, you shouldn't have to make $300,000 a year, right? So we have vehicles at each price point that's going to meet that, and vehicles that are going to meet your lifestyle too. So we really look for mostly vehicles that are going to have a 200+ mile range, because a lot of people, especially in New England, they need to be able to get around. So whether you're looking for a truck like the Lightning or an SUV like the Volvo C40 or a plug-in hybrid like the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, which is an awesome car, we have things at every single price point.
So that brings us on neatly to other models, and you obviously, one of the benefits here of the facility and the used EV market in general is being able to go and test a bunch of different cars, pure EVs, plug-in hybrid EVs. From what you've got on the lot and what you see people coming in the door asking for, how is that used EV market kind of percolating? What do you see the most interest in, and what has wowed people the most as you've kind of taken them out in those test drives?
Yeah, it's a great question, Steve. I think the two things that surprise people the most if they're making a switch from an internal combustion engine car to an electric vehicle or plug-in hybrid, one is that there is a huge used EV market out there that we're able to provide a window into. Talk more about that in a second. But the other thing is that brand affiliations don't necessarily apply, right? A lot of people have brand affiliations, but when you're making a switch to an entirely different type of vehicle, it gives you the opportunity to consider manufacturing production excellence in a different brand. For example, Hyundai and Kia have really been leaders in vehicle electrification. And they've advanced the technology, the user interface, the performance, the charging on these vehicles in ways that other manufacturers are saying, wow, we got to do something like that too. So that's really exciting, and giving people an opportunity to kind of check their own preconceptions about brands and then experience a car new. So that's really important when you come here. The other thing around the used vehicle market, it's really confusing with new vehicle tax credits, vehicle depreciation. There are at any given time about 2,000 to 3,000 used EVs on the wholesale market available nationwide. Most of them are in California and out west, or down south in Texas or in Florida. So for us up here in the Northeast, we don't have access to as high quality or as many of these vehicles, and they're often more highly priced. So what we do is we cultivate an inventory from all over the country that gives a great value proposition to somebody who's going to buy, that takes into account, for example, the new EV $7,500 tax credit, right? Those vehicles depreciate. If they're eligible for that credit, they depreciate $7,500 the second they drive off the lot because of the IRS rules. So we offer vehicles that are low miles, like our EV6 only has 7,700 miles, but you can save about $12,000 under the purchase of a new. So yeah, you're not getting the tax credit, but there's still a value proposition because you're taking that depreciation. You don't have to wait to get that $7,500. You get it on day one here at GreenWave.
Gotcha. So we would be remiss if we didn't talk about plug-in hybrid electric vehicles.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a 2022 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. It's a great addition to the line. A lot of people don't understand the plug-in hybrid aspect. They're like, what's the difference? A hybrid, plug-in hybrid? Well, on a plug-in hybrid, you can do up to 30 miles electric on this one, for example, before it transitions to a regular gas hybrid. Our family, our first electric vehicle was a Pacifica plug-in hybrid, which was fantastic for us. So we got the charger, and when we're going around town, we have full electric driving. Sometimes we'll go for months at a time without putting any gas into it. But then, let's say you need to go on a longer trip in the winter, you're going into the mountains, like we like to go skiing where there's not as much charging infrastructure, right? Then you can not have to worry about, how am I gonna charge? What's my range gonna be? You can have that plug-in hybrid to get you there. So most day-to-day driving, full EV, but when you need it, you got the gas hybrid backup, so it's going to get better fuel economy on that level. And, quite frankly, this is a gorgeous vehicle.
Where do you see GreenWave electric vehicles in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever you'd like to share about the growth of, the vision of the company? Absolutely.
Well, we're just grateful for every customer every day, and for every electric vehicle that we're able to offer to someone. We're reducing their carbon footprint. But I would be remiss if I didn't say we had some pretty grand aspirations. Every auto mile in America has your used truck store. It has your Highline store with the Mercedes and the BMWs. It has your buy here, pay here with the low-cost cars. It has your used Subaru dealer. I believe that there is a space for a used electric vehicle dealer that makes more EVs more affordable for more people on every auto mile in America. Our goal is to open a second location within the next 18 months here in New Hampshire, and then to open a third and fourth location within an hour of here so that we can have 4 locations sharing inventory and being more accessible to people. And then using that kind of hub and spoke model to expand to different markets throughout the United States. You know, I did this with my previous employer that did wheelchair accessible vans, and to have a high quality branded location that provides a great value proposition to people, that provides the full service approach, and provides great transportation solutions. I think people need that all over the country. And so we're looking to expand, you know, as EV technology gets more elaborate, as the battery range gets better, as charging times get faster, that's going to cause more depreciation for the vehicles that are on today. Now, I do want to say that EVs seem to be holding their value better than internal combustion engine cars when I see them on the market. And I can't tell right now whether that's a result of scarcity or whether that's the result of performance. I mean, they're projected to last longer as cars. But either way, as cars depreciate over time, they're going to be more affordable for people. Like the Teslas, I can offer the Teslas at a significantly lower price than a new one today, and that just makes it more accessible to people. So, you know, our vision is that every person who has a who wants a sustainable transportation solution can have one, and so that's what we're here to do. We want to expand, we want to be in people's communities, and we just want to make more EVs go so that people can have more fun with their transportation.
Okay, so thank you so much, Jesse, for hosting us here and giving us the lowdown on Green Wave electric vehicles. Beautiful facility. I urge anybody who is anywhere near New Hampshire to come down and visit, look at the amazing models on the lot, and just talk to Jesse. He'll probably give you all the information you need. So thank you so much. Anything you'd like to share before we finish?
Well, thank you, Steve, for coming up here, and thank you for all you're doing to educate people about vehicle electrification. I mean, it's such a great channel. So you guys, remember to like and subscribe to Plug and Play EV.
Did my job for me. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you in the... Cheers.
Cheers.